guys, so in today's episode, if you like, we're going to talk about trading platitudes and inspirational quotes. So I always liken these things to going to inspirational or motivational speeches or seminars, right? At the end of the day, if you don't really internalize or understand what the message is, it's just going to be noise or useless stuff. So one guy, I got nothing against Steve Burns. He tries to really help everybody. So this guy does, if you're one of those people who prefer to get inspirational quotes to start your day, definitely check him out on Twitter. I think you can see his username there. We're not affiliated with him or anything. He's just one of those guys on Twitter that I think he really does mean well if he tries. Of course, he's also selling a service, but the point that I'm making is that he makes a lot of trading inspirational quotes and all that. So you can definitely see here, and you can definitely look at it, look at his profile when you get the chance. So the point that the point that I'm making here is you are only as good as your mental and your physical game, right? If you're a golfer, you know what the mental game means. But the point is you got to be disciplined, and a lot of people will keep saying, you gotta learn to find setups on your own, and you don't pay someone else to get ideas. But the point here is how many of you actually have the time, right? If you're a father of 2, 3, you have a wife, you got a partner, or let's just say you're a single mom or single dad, or whatever, life always gets in the way. Life always has a way of distracting you from what you really want to do, right? So that's sort of where some of the services for markets do come in to kind of help you be more efficient and save you time every day. Now, however, if you're one of those people who actually do have time, then yes, go and look at the charts, find a setup that works out for you, find a system that works for you, and really improve it as much as you can. But a lot of the main reason why a lot of people do end up losing a lot of money in this game is they just don't realize that it can take a lot out of them if you don't know what they're doing. Not everybody who started trading became geniuses overnight. It took a lot of people time and patience to really get to where they should be. A really good example is June 7th market performance, where out of nowhere the market sold off, and then we ended up closing close to the highs anyway, or at least the day's highs. So in essence, right, if you really are looking at, or if you are trying to be a day trader or a swing trader, that kind of volatility can definitely kill you if you're not careful. That being said, on the other side, the flip side of it, at least the people that do follow us anyway, we basically told them it's time to take profits, and you stop for the day, because the worst thing that could happen to you is you keep going and going and going, and if you made a few $100s or $1,000, you keep giving that back because you thought the trend was going lower and all that. And this is where everything kind of always laughs, because you can probably also see some of the stuff that he writes here, and I think it's an old market adage as well. The trend is your friend. So if the trend, in the first 3 or 4 hours of Thursday's trading was lower, so if you were really accepting that idea and you were selling because trend is your friend, you definitely would have been raped towards the end of the day, right? So this is where a lot of swing traders will say day trading doesn't work, because they think they always get burned. But ultimately, day trading is a game of taking profits. That's really what it is. There's no sort of real science about it. It's more psychology than anything. If you're up 500, 600, 300, $400, it's really, you got to decide. You got to put a stop there, and then you take profits, right? It's when a lot of people think that this trend that they see will continue and continue and continue, and they want to hold, but they don't adjust their stops. That's when they really get screwed over. So that's a thing that we really encourage, that people do figure out, what their level of risk is and what their risk tolerance is, and they can, they basically take profits and make their money that way. I'm in this phase where I really am only in the market for an hour or so, take profits and then move on. I don't hold and wait, for years or for hours or even days for profits to materialize. Because again, you could have a down day today, and you could have an up day tomorrow, and if you didn't take your profits on your shorts or didn't take profits on longs, then you get screwed over, right? So the market is really good at taking your money, and if you're not careful, obviously all of your money is going to be gone. The whole challenge there is when you're in profits, you gotta take it, and then you gotta take a profit and run. I think there's something that he said here to avoid burnout as a trader. Something I advise people in mentorship too, that kind of goes along the same line. You got to automate your trading as much as possible. So I don't, for me, when I see a setup, I trade. I don't even like think, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? If I see the setup and it matches what I want, I trade. I don't think twice. And if it's wrong, of course, I'll take my loss and move on. Get a hobby you enjoy. So the same thing that I always kind of tell my, I think if you're an avid follower of all of my podcasts, I definitely say, I trade so that I can enjoy more of life, not the other way around. Because I don't want to have a job, so that's why I trade. When it says limit your social media, it really depends. I mean, I'm not a big Facebook user, and get daily exercise. Well, I think that kind of goes without saying. If you don't want to die of a stroke or a heart attack, you better exercise daily. The sleeping 8 hours a night, that could be interesting. Depends if you're an insomniac or not. Depends on whether or not your life is very hectic. Like I said, if you're a parent of one or two kids and they're still young, yeah, good luck getting 8 hours a night. Eat healthy foods. Now that is going to be interesting. If you're one of those people who hate the non-GMO movement, it's probably not for you. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't advise all of these things, but they do mean well. It's about basically trying to live well and eat well, right, kind of thing. So really, it is what it is. Um, so and he has that wonderful sort of saying here. So, I mean, I look at his stuff because it's just funny to read some of this stuff, because it's one thing to read this, and it's another thing to really internalize and realize that it's so important to really, really act on it, right? If you're sitting in front of your computer or your phone right now, or standing and you're listening to this, and you're still thinking, yeah, those are good, but I'm not going to do it because I'm too lazy, well, I guess you really kind of, proved my point. So there's a lot of people, like especially here in the summer right now, where they're like, they tell us anyway that, oh, I'm too busy in the summer. I'll probably learn the markets in September or October. The funny part about that is that the market is the busiest between September and March. So by the time you're trying to learn the market in September, either nobody's going to be there to help you, or B, it's going to be so volatile that your first few tries are going to be just screwed, really badly. It's kind of like trying to learn how to swim on a very still, calm beach, as opposed to trying to learn to swim when there's actually a hurricane coming and the surf is really, 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 really bad. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on the people. Some people like to be, like to hit the ground running or be thrown into the fire and hope they come out alive. And some people want to get eased in carefully. But ultimately, it's really up to you, right? Whether you are as intense as we are with looking at, the overall market, or whether or not you're just kind of passive and kind of seeing what stuff is going on. It's there's always going to be a place, and there's always going to be a service for everybody, right? And I think the biggest challenge for traders who really want to be good is, how do they get to where they want to be, and what resources do they have at their disposal to get there, and how much determination and drive do they have? If they lack the will, obviously you're not going to get far. I think that's kind of prerequisite for success. But overall, you gotta figure out what your goal is. So for me, mine's pretty simple. Obviously, I trade every day. Usually, I trade less than an hour, 2 hours a day, depending on how busy the market is. But it has been quite some time since I've actually sat in front of my computer for at least 8 hours straight. It really has been quite some time, like probably a year or so. If I'm sitting in front of my computer for a long time, I'm not trading. I'm probably playing a game or just watching a video or something. But trading wise, I haven't sat through, you know, for 8 hours straight in a long, long time. So, yeah. So if you're one of those guys or girls who love looking at inspirational quotes just because you want to feel good, check out his Twitter page. I'm sure he's also running some sort of student mentorship, whatever place. He could be for you, whatever. If Yeah, and so in terms of what's gonna happen with trading, you really have to figure out what excites you, and if none of this stuff excites you, you shouldn't be a trader. You should probably move on and do something else. I don't know, sell legal weed or something like that, something else. But don't waste your time in a pursuit that you're not passionate about or you don't like. It's just how it is, right? The whole goal of being alive is to find something you like and get good at it. And if you make money on the side with it, even better. Okay, so I'll leave you with that and hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care and talk to you guys next time.